everybody. Welcome to Stage Struck, the Am-Dram Banter Podcast. My name is Chris, your host.
I'm Todd.
And today we have a very special guest with us. Yes, our first guest on the podcast. We teased it in last week's episode, and we're so excited that the one and only Rebecca Armstrong is here today. We're so happy to have you here. She is our very own Mary Magdalene. Becky, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. How are you guys?
Yeah, good.
So nice to have you here. Listen, we do this at the beginning of every podcast where, you know, the great thing about being an Am-Dram is we've all got normal lives as well as being razzle and dazzle. So tell us, what's your day been like today? What have you been up to?
I mean, I wouldn't describe my life as normal, but okay, let's
Tell us.
Well, today I've been in my Shrek shack, as I call it.
Nice.
Basically, I make Shrek prosthetics for amateur dramatic companies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I also make it for Shrek Rave, which is like a UK.
Oh, I've heard about this. And is there like drag and stuff in it as well? Like, do they get, yeah.
So, it first started actually when I directed Shrek for this same company about 6-7 years ago, and then made it because I was doing this production, and then all of a sudden people were like, oh my god, we need Shrek prosthetics. Nobody does it. I'm like, what do you mean nobody?
Wow.
And literally nobody this side of America does it.
So have you like, you must have trademarked it and everything for just you?
Yeah, it's just mine now. So my friend dared me to call it Bec Does Shrek, and I was like, yeah, right, why not? And that's literally stuck.
The best name. I love it.
So do you like on your normal day, like, are you just literally in there making different masks for different people?
Yeah, daily. Like I've got, I think about 20 Shreks going out in March. Yeah, it's just crazy. And I also do other like prosthetics. What I found is a lot of them are green. Like, Frankenstein for young Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's green. Then I got asked to do the Grinch. That's green.
That's green, of course.
I need to advertise that I can actually do things.
But the first one you did, we'll cover later on, but the first one you did was Beast, wasn't it? Didn't you do the Beast one?
Yes,
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's still going. I still hire the Beast myself.
I was still at school when that one was on. That's how long ago that one was, yeah.
That's my uni project, actually. That's why I ended up doing that. Yeah.
Wow, do you know what is really crazy? Like when you think on it, the amount of demand it must have. Because I've seen some Shreks, and some of them look as if they've just, walked out of a pub. It's horrific. Like there's no prosthetics. It's the classic shove on a bit of green makeup and a fake nose.
Yeah.
So like it must be amazing because like all these other Am-Dram societies and everything now have an outlet where they can literally get Shrek masks.
Yeah, like literally professional ones. I use the same as what they use on the West End and Broadway, like products.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not getting anything less than and I'm a professional makeup artist as well, so they're getting.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so they're getting professional quality stuff, which is really nice.
Do you must have seen the show, like the actual professional show? Are you the kind of person like me? Like, do you go and watch it and then see the mask? Are you sitting there like kind of going, oh, I like what they've done there, and because you do it every single day, so you must like inspect and look at all and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But funnily enough, I did a Mrs. Doubtfire recently, so I went to see it in London, thinking, right, I'm gonna look how they get it on and off dead quick. But I'm also obsessed with shoes. So every time someone would come on, and I'd be like, oh my god, what shoes have they got on? And my mum would be like, did you see me change? And I'd be like, no, I missed it. And she'd be like, stop looking at the shoes. Look what you came here to look at the prosthetics.
Because in Doubtfire, it's a massive quick change for.
Yeah, it's all live on stage. It's all magnets down the back.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
With the prosthetic?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow.
Silicone, so I just sort of wanted to suss out how he does it. He sort of bites into something to put his lipstick on, puts his glasses on and his wig, and then sort of a 3/4 prosthetic. It's really good. So,
Wow. That's really interesting. I love all that kind of stuff. That is amazing.
Yeah, I made it for a guy for a sketch show, but I thought, well, it's ready to go if the arms get it.
Is it like the film? Is it because he's doing the quick change in the
towards
restaurant
the end,
when he's got the interview?
and to the... I've not seen the show yet, so
No, I haven't.
maybe
I haven't.
You know,
we did a really cool thing here at HAOS where I think it was the musical director came and did a workshop with us all about kind of how the music works and how it works being a West End musical director. That's my only experience of Mrs. Doubtfire the musical, but
of how to do it all.
yeah, it was good. It was
It's
a really
amazing
good workshop.
I can't believe it. Like the amount of prosthetic that work in the Am-Dram Society world, when you think on it, and how we've progressed. Like, can you imagine like 15, 20 years ago, it was unheard of people wearing proper prosthetics on stage. And now it's and I just think in general, Am-Dram are stepping up because not that the funds are there, but the materials are there. People have got more inspiration to do better things, and there's outlets like yourself where they can go to and go, look, we want this to look really good, so they're going to get people in to help them to take it to the next kind of professional level.
That's it, isn't it? It's that,
Love it.
that access is available for them. You know, all of a sudden you know somebody that is able to do the prosthetics, or you know somebody that's able to do this part or this part. And I think that's something that wasn't available 20 years ago, as people that were then doing that as their work, as obviously we're talking about.
It must have like stopped a lot of shows back in the day. Like a lot of productions putting together because they couldn't, you know, they don't have the right things, the right materials to do it and stuff. But now, I mean, most shows now, I suppose, are a lot more accessible for societies. Which we've got one coming up very shortly, Jesus Christ Superstar. It's coming up in April 17th. Get your tickets. That's just a cheeky plug. So there we go. Listen, we've chatted about what you've been up to today, and I can't wait to find out more about like your makeup career, everything. But let's get right into it. Let's start all the way back, because this is what we love about the podcast, because amateur dramatics is such an amazing place to be, because people have got normal jobs, but they work 9 to 5, they do their normal stuff, and then they get out there and they put on a performance, and everybody wants to perform. And I always believe that everybody's got talent and they can do something with it. Where did you start? Where did your first, you know, little kind of part of performance start? Where was your first show, and how did you get to where you are today?
So actually, I started because my mum was with a guy that had a daughter that went to dance school. My mum had never thought of that. She was just not in that world whatsoever. So I obviously wanted to do what my older sister was doing, so start a dance class. And then first show was for Hattie, actually, with these guys. And normally you have to be 10 to get in, but they were doing Annie and they needed a little Molly. And I was only 8 at the time. So my sister went for Annie and I went for Molly, and we got it. And everyone was like, oh, you must get on so well. You're lovely on stage. We were like literally killing each other on stage.
That's it.
Proper sisters, yeah. So then so that was my first ever role, and I just got the bug from then. And I realised I sort of loved acting probably more than I loved the dancing and singing side. I'm definitely an actress first.
Right.
But still carried on dancing and everything. And then just couldn't wait until I was old enough to get into Hattie. And then I just remember watching the older kids, and I remember being in My Fair Lady. I was probably like 10, and the girl that was playing was like 18, and I remember thinking, if I learn all these words and all these songs, if anything happened, they're going to come to me. I'm like literally 10, I'm like the last
She's like ready to step in, ready to step in.
Just soaking everything in, yeah.
Ultimate understudy that's just going to step in at the last minute. And
Yeah, absolutely.
No restrictions.
I think surely we all went through that period, because I used to think that all the time. I used to have a bit of a diehard kind of fetish at school. I was just thinking,
With Bruce Willis?
Yeah. Well, I used to think if terrorists attacked my school, I'd help the teachers.
You know,
Like it'd be me, as like a 9-year-old that never had been in a fight in his life.
At the age of 9, I love that's where your thought process was at. When most people are pulling things out of their nose or their bum holes, you're literally thinking that you're John McClane from Die Hard. That's pretty epic. I quite like
But I
it.
get that, fully get that experience.
Mine was slightly more accessible than yours.
Yeah, I think so.
Mine could have
There's no way there'd have been a 10-year-old Eliza. Come on, be realistic.
I would have believed a 10-year-old Eliza over a 9-year-old John McClane. Yippee-ki-yay, mother, you know.
You've not seen me in the vest crawling through.
It's more like Ramsey Nesbitt.
You said you wouldn't say that.
I'm sorry.
You've got the accent, I've got the vest.
I know, I'm sorry, I brought it up. But listen, so you were in Hattie and you did all this, but did you, what was the next big thing after that? Were you like just doing show after show, or?
Every single year I'd do a Hattie show. And then when I was old enough to join HAOS, probably not getting parts still because I was only probably 15, 16, I used to just do the dancing. And then I went to Stage 84 when I was 15, 16, and got the Liesel in Sound of Music at the Edinburgh Festival, so got to go and do that in the Edinburgh Festival, which was amazing. And then I started getting jobs on television after that, so then I sort of did that for a while. I was on Emmerdale, Where the Heart is the Royal. I presented a programme.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Whoa, slow down. Hold on. Listen, I came from Scotland to Yorkshire, and the only thing I knew about this place was Emmerdale Farm, literally growing up. That's all I knew. I just knew Emmerdale and the phrase, how much? That's all I knew about Yorkshire people. And I watched Emmerdale. Were you like you a part?
Yeah, part. I was actually named by Inside Soap as the most hated girl in Britain. Because
I don't know this. What?
So my character was called Julie, and she. Do you remember the Bec Armstrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing. I mugged him, and that's where my where my storyline started. So I mugged him. It made him not want to go. Took all his money from the
No
bookies.
freaking way. Are you? This is mental. That like, 'cause I would have been watching it at that time.
Yeah.
I knew that guy. I knew that.
Yeah, stopped him going out. He became a recluse, and then I started bullying people at the school. One of the regular characters there. And the storyline went on for a while, and then I got my comeuppance in the end and got taken away. But
How long did you do it for? How long were you in the soap?
I think my storyline ran over about a month. Yeah, it's quite a big storyline at the time, and even when the actor that played Seth died, actually, they played it on his best moments because it was such a big storyline at the time, because he was like the nation's sort of granddad.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
was this horrible, nasty girl that came and just like destroyed his life.
I love the idea. Do you ever watch the episode of Friends with, is it Brooke Shields? And she believes that Joey actually is his character. I love the idea that somewhere in the universe now there's somebody that absolutely hates you. And you're going to pop up on this podcast and finally she's going to be like, she's there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get her. I'm going to track you down.
Oh
my
It was
God.
crazy, yeah. Luckily, they did me up as sort of a goth, so I didn't really look like me that much, which was good because it was wild at the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think I always seem to get cast as sort of nasty or characters that are great. I think it's because of my husky voice.
But see, the thing is, I'm going to be really controversial here about acting, right? Because I believe the best actors in the world are actors who play really good villains. I know you're a good villain if I sit there and I'm gritting my teeth and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And when you get your comeuppance, I cheer. That whole, arc and that process, that is amazing acting. I mean, I'm over the kind of happy chappy and the go lucky and the lovey dovey people. It's always the villains that I enjoy watching the more, the best.
Well, have you watched Bad Sisters? Like, I know
Don't get me started. Just finished season 1 last night. Are you kidding me? That man is so evil.
He's evil. And I've watched things where people are actually like murderers, psychos, and I'm like, how do I hate this man more?
Oh my God.
Like a
Oh
murderer.
my God, I've not even heard of this. What?
He's a Swedish actor. He's Swedish, right? I didn't know that. And he played Dracula in the Netflix series, right? He was really good. But in this show, he plays that kind of psychological abusive husband towards his kind of little kind of pushover wife, right? And basically the idea, the premise is, not to give any away, no spoilers, but there's four sisters and the one that's getting bullied, and the idea is they want to get rid of him, but this guy does everything in every episode. This is exactly prime example of sitting there where you're going, oh, and my wife knows, because if I'm holding her leg and the nails start going in, she goes, Christopher, stop. I went, sorry, I'm so in it. But that's what a show.
Yes, so good.
What a show. I just finished season 1. I'm going to watch season 2.
Well, that's on my watch list tonight, then, isn't it? That's,
Oh, it's so good. It really is.
yeah, you gave me another one to watch as well the other day, and
all the Apple TV.
Severance.
Severance. That was
guy.
it. That
I'm
was
a
the
big
one she.
Severance
That was the
guy.
one she recommended.
But here's the thing, I loved Severance so much. Season 1, I was obsessed with it, right? But season 2, I know there's only 6 episodes at the moment. I can't watch them yet. I'm the kind of person that I need to have them all so I can just binge them, because I can't. I'm that kind of. I need it now, that kind of stuff. But I've heard that season 2 is.
Oh, it's so good, and it's torture. Like literally on a Friday, if I've been at work, so it's like quick, it's Friday, get in, Severance, and I'm like, yeah.
You need to watch it. It's really good. The concept is unbelievable. Imagine, like, how they come up with it. The idea of your job life and your job life and your real life are 2 separate things. So it's like coming to HAOS. Imagine coming to HAOS. I put this in my head when I was thinking about it. The moment you walk in the door from HAOS, you forget about your whole entire existence outside of HAOS. So you only live in the moment of what happens in here. So you could have relationships with people. You could be doing this, doing that. But the moment you walk out the door, you'd have no recollection of what HAOS is. And you just have your normal life.
And you see, you had me sold there, because I was like, oh, that sounds like my dream, just coming here. This is like my happy place. And then you said that I'd have no memory of it. And, oh, no, that'd be awful.
Until you come back, and then you're like, oh, I'm back again.
It's the only thing that gets me through the day sometimes. Like, oh, I've got a rehearsal tonight. Like, yeah, that's good. I'm going to smash the rehearsal.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I couldn't do with forgetting about it.
love
What's the other one called? Bad Sisters.
Bad Sisters. Do you know what I love about? We're really off on a tangent here, but I love it. I love a good tangent. Do you know what I love about Apple TV? And I don't know if you feel this way as well, right? I watch all the streaming services. Apple TV make things look gorgeous. Like Ireland has never looked, Dublin has never looked as beautiful as what it does when Apple TV does it. It's like they shine everything up.
Yeah.
The actresses,
Yeah.
everybody, they all look stunning.
Yeah, the cinematography is really
Is it really? Yeah.
Everything, it's like you can tell there's money in it. There's money. They've pumped it in. Like if you were to put that on BBC iPlayer or something like that, it would hear a different show. It would lose that kind of the feel, and just everything about it's great.
I, of course, am a big fan of Dublin and think it always looks beautiful. Just for any of our Irish listeners out there, you know.
Sorry, Irish listeners. I'm really sorry. Being Scottish, I should be all for you. Why am I not saying that? But it's fine. It's fine.
Right, so that's the watch list sorted then.
Yeah, watch list sorted. Amazing. And you were in Emmerdale. Folks, please, if you're coming to see JC, she's not that person anymore, right? Please don't shout out in the middle of a scene, in the middle of a number. Please don't. Please. She's
Just
different.
this for Seth. It's gonna be like it's gonna be
so justice for Seth.
It's gonna be like is it the Just Stop Oil people that I can't stand in the orange t-shirts with Justice for Steph?
They'll come on with like a farmer's jacket.
And the tash.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Dear
So like
me.
you did all that. Then what where did you go from there? Like in performing and stuff.
Yeah, so I decided not to go to, so basically I auditioned for drama schools and I was all ready to go to drama school. And then I had an agency in London who I went to see and I was like, this is my plans, this is what I want to do. And they were like, why? And I was like, well, because I want to go to drama school. And they were like, but you're going to go to drama school to do exactly what you're doing now. You're working, so why go? So I didn't end up going and just acted until I was around 22. So from like 15, 16, just did different jobs. And then I thought, oh, is this it? Like I every time I was on set, I really wanted to just be in the makeup fan. I love costume and makeup. I love how it can totally transform you. So I thought, right, what could I do? And I wasn't getting any theatre work. I was only getting television. And for me, it's all about theatres work, not that.
And like, was it all coming in like from
I
Emmerdale?
was working, like living the dream essentially. And I just felt like, oh, I don't know if this is what I want to do. So I went to university and did a degree in media makeup and special effects. And yeah, and then just never looked back really. Then got back into the Am-Dram world. And then in lockdown, I had a casting director call me up and was like, are you still acting? I was like, I've not acted for a long time. They're like, well, basically we've got this Huddersfield group that are dancers who want a Yorkshire actress to do their VT. Sometimes they do like a VT before. Yeah. And they were in the semi-finals at that point. And they wanted a Blair Witch style thing. So I had to send in a self-tape because I was like, oh, I'm not doing any makeup lockdown. And then I got the job. And I was like, oh, right, this is... So I filmed, it was wild, this through the night in some kind of druid's temple somewhere, I don't even know.
During lockdown?
During lockdown, in a druid's temple, I'm like Blair Witch style, like loads of different takes. At one point, I'm like my snot running down my nose, my eyes are watering. They were like, I think that might be too much for like light-hearted Saturday night TV. Coming as like back.
She's going full Macbeth.
Yeah,
She's going now. She's going now.
It's not right. So yeah, so I did that. But actually, what it cemented in my head was that I didn't love being that actor on the camera. I felt very alone. Whereas when you're part of like the behind the scenes, you're more a part of a team. But I don't feel like that in theatre. It's very much a team environment, which is, I think, why I love it.
I've always preferred theatre, and I think it's that live rush, isn't it? Like, if I've got to be prepped for something, I think in my head it's like that kind of thing of we can always keep going till it's perfect. Yeah. And I worry that what if it's never perfect? Yeah. Whereas I love that kind of adrenaline rush, and you're so nervous, and then the curtain goes up.
That's it.
And then you've just got to go fly by the seat of your pants, and you go. And
I think you find it with a lot of actors nowadays, a lot of kind of, even like A-list Hollywood stars, right? They talk about the process of they become these Hollywood stars, but they want to go to London or they want to go to Broadway and do a play. because it's the idea of you leave everything out on the stage that night. Whereas when you're filming, it's a lot of sitting about, it's a lot of different takes, a lot of kind of things like that. So it's funny because I'm the opposite. I want to do the other side. I would love to, in my whole career, I would love to do that side of it, to see what the process is like. Doing different takes, working with a DOP and all that kind of stuff. I'd love that to see what the difference is. But a lot of actors now, Brie Larson has just went to London and she's doing and she says the same thing the other morning, the fact that she's there, she puts on a 2-hour show, it kills her in the moment, but then she goes home and she's fine. But whereas when she's filming these Marvel films and everything else, it's just a full-on process.
Yeah.
It seems to be the renaissance of Marvel actors in theatre as well, because Tom Hiddleston and Hayley Atwell are doing the Jamie Lloyd, aren't they?
Yeah.
My favourite Shakespeare, that as well. Much ado about nothing.
Who's the guy from Jonathan Bailey? Is also the Richard the Third at the
is he?
as well.
Oh,
so
that.
it's become a thing now. It's it's really funny. I don't think 20 years ago that gateway from movies.
Yeah.
It's not even that. The gateway from movies to TV has changed dramatically over the years. Being a TV actor now is more financially better for an
100%.
actor than what it is to do one movie. So these people that get signed up for Netflix or Amazon Prime and things like that, I look at, there's a guy called Alan Richardson that plays Reacher. He's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
He was a TV kind of actor, but that TV series, for him being on that, has set him up for life. And that's it. Financially, a lot of people have found ways to make it work.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's a really good segue, actually, because talking about parts or shows that really change things, is there especially Am-Dram, with us being the Am-Dram podcast, is there a part or show for you that you really think that changed my life? It might be because it was the best part ever to play, or for other reasons. I don't know.
Yeah, probably when I played Mama Rose, and a lot of people will look at me thinking, oh, she's too young to play Mama Rose, but actually I did so much research into her when I got asked to play her. She was actually quite a young mum, which is why she felt like her time she'd not had chance to get her time yet. Whereas everyone, because she's been portrayed as sort of an older woman in a lot of portrayals, people was like, Rebecca Armstrong's too young for that. And actually, because the show goes over 10 years, you're either too young or too old.
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
At some point.
It's whether you're too young at the beginning or too old at the, wherever, sorry. So yeah, that was probably, I think I won over a lot of people that had a lot of sort of doubts about me playing that part, but I can't say I've put more into anything I've ever done in any part of my life.
Was it would you say it was a kind of a passion project as well? Something that you've always, even before you got the role, is it something that you've always thought, God, I'd love to play that part?
Yeah.
And whenever you get that feeling, like most of us do, it does just take over your life and you just put your everything into it. And then I think it's the one you walk away from not only feeling the most proud of, but the most that it's hard to let go of it as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's hard to let go of that role.
And I think because a lot of people see me as a song and dance girl, I've played a lot of parts like Velma Kelly and Sally Bowles, and them sort of, if there's a song and dance girl, it generally that's what people see me as. Whereas that was really an actress's role, and I felt like it was just the best thing I've ever done.
So I saw that show, and I didn't know Gypsy at the time, and it is one of the best amateur performances I've ever seen. And I'm not saying that because you're here. I've told this before in a rehearsal. Honestly, I remember being blown away, when we got to the end of it, and I think not knowing the story as well. So I really lived it. You go to see a lot of shows, and obviously we're all such lovies that we know them all. We know the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I knew nothing of it. I didn't even know Rose's Turn, the big song.
I'm blind.
And then it just happened, and I was like, wow, okay. This
I'm like
is...
you though, I didn't know much of it. And my wife played when she was a kid.
Yes,
she played one of the parts. I don't even know what part it was.
Baby June.
Baby, there you go.
I thought
Did you?
yeah.
There we go.
Confession, Kim already knows this, but I used to be obsessed with your wife as a child. She could always kick a leg the highest. She could always pick the routines up the quickest. And I was just like, I have to be Kim Fletcher. I need to be Kim Fletcher.
Well, I didn't know much about the show until she spoke to me, and then I watched the one with oh my God, Imelda Staunton, and she and do you know what? It's so true when you say it. It really is not a song and dance part.
No.
It truly, don't get me wrong, Imelda can sang, her face off, but it truly is all about the emotional connection with not just the people on stage, but with the audience. You have to have them. I use this term, it's really disgusting, by the short and curlies. You have to hold them there because it's one of those roles that if you do it and you've got them, you've won. That's it. You've won it.
It's the only time it sounds really like, I don't mean to sound like, ooh, big up me, but it's the only time in all the shows I've ever done that I got a standing ovation middle of the show, like afterwards.
Wow.
Wasn't even on my bar, and I was just like,
That's amazing.
yeah, it was amazing. I just
That must have been an incredible feeling. Because I feel that's something that quite often as actors, we humble ourselves and kind of go, oh, no, I don't do it for the accolades. I don't.
Yeah.
But it's so special. It's so special. I remember when we did Addams Family together, my opening night, I wasn't sure if I'd connected with the audience enough. And my part was, the whole point was narrating and being that connection to the audience. And then walking out to this great reception. And I remember Matt, one of the actors who was in JC with us, remember, 17th of April?
Yes.
He kind of winked at me on stage because he knew the worries I was having, but that feeling, so to get that middle of the show, that must have been so
I think it's that idea of it's not the way of course we love the adulation of it, right? It's part of the adrenaline, and it's like it's our money of it, we don't get paid to do these amateur dramatic shows, so it's that idea of when you put the you put the effort into something, and when someone recognizes it for that moment. I used to laugh when when non-theatre people come and see shows and they just give those non-theatre comments of, oh, it was just, you sounded lovely, oh, what part did you like? Just the whole thing was lovely. But when people come and see it that know, like people that have been in the industry stuff, and they pick out those little moments and go, the way you did this way, it's just that's what you live for. It truly is.
I have a great story on this one. So when my sister had got with a new partner, and the family came back to surprise me doing the History Boys, and my partner at the time had kind of let slip that there was a surprise happening, but I played Dakin, so the part famously played by Dominic Cooper. And he has a great moment with the young teacher where it's like a will they, won't they. There's this connection, this love. And it's one of the best scenes of acting I've ever done. Not in terms of my acting, but just the script is just so electric. And I played opposite a guy called James, who was fantastic. But then I remember going down into the bar, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be meeting my sister's new boyfriend. I've not really met him. And you want to be that kind of brother that's like, don't mess my sister about. And the first thing he said to me was, why didn't you kiss him? And that was, this is a guy that is not into theatre. And I went, I suppose it's that will they, won't they? And I'd lost any nous of the show and forgotten what to say. And it was just this great moment of, wow, that's how intense it must have been. And it was one of those, pin drop moments in the show that was so fun. Because you're like, oh yeah, we've got
you've got them. You've got them.
Like, we've got them by the short and curlies, as you said.
Yeah, short and curlies, you've got them, and they're not going anywhere. And do you think with that role, with that Mama Rose role, do you think, how many years has it been since you played it?
It was 2018.
So do you think Becky now would bring would it be a different Mama Rose to what it was back then?
Yeah.
How? Explain why.
I just think with every part you play, you just sort of mature a bit, don't you? And I'm not one of these that if I watch something back, I never think, I was like, oh, we'll do that. Like we are as performers, we're so self-critical, aren't we? Mm-hmm. So there's times where I would probably just be more confident to for the pauses and slow it down even more. When you watch it back, you think, oh my God, I could have, held up for so much longer. Little things like that. So I do think, I would love to play it again, but then I'd feel like, something was so special.
It's going
you don't star it, do you? Yeah.
I get it. It's like you're going back to it and you're like, is it going to have the same magic? Because also remember, I know we get into the roles that we play. So also, we got to remember the people that are around us as well, because when you bounce off of good cast members, people that take you to that level, and when they don't, synergize with your energy, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is a different place now. So it's trying to go back into that again. It's hard.
But that's it. We've all probably been on the plus and negative side of that, where we've been opposite people that, oh my God, it's so electric. But then when you've been opposite people where the vibe's just not necessarily been there. And it's awful when that happens, because you're thinking, it'll come. And sometimes it never does.
It never does. And also with age, it's so true, because then what happens is your maturity as an actor and you're bringing something different to the role, what happens then is you think and this is what's happened to me in the past, you feel that what you're bringing is so new and fresh and different, but you see the new young pups that are up and coming, and this is what they're getting taught every day. This is what they're bringing now. So it's the dynamics changed as well, because people are learning differently. The drama schools now are a lot different to what they were when we were younger. I mean, I'm 40 now, and I remember like the training to get roles was very different to what a lot of people now. It's sad to say, and I'm not dissing the young generation, but if you're not a face and you're not a name and you're not an X Factor reject or this is how they're getting the roles, so they're not actually truly, like you say, it's you just engross yourself in that part and learning it. You know, it's just landing on their laps. It's so different. So different.
Would you say Mama Rose is the most challenging role you've played, or is there another role that you've maybe like?
In some respects, yeah, but I would say I played Thoroughly Modern Millie, and that's literally never off stage, and it requires it's a heavy dance, a massive sing. Like, gimme at the end of the show it's
too much
vocal stamina. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But it's stamina wise. It's everything.
Stamina, that would be the hardest. Acting wise, probably Mama Rose. And then last year, probably when I did Adelaide for these guys, that was like, I'm one of these until I find that character's voice. I don't feel like her.
You're not there yet.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't find it. So Adelaide, I was like, what is her voice like?
Yeah.
As soon as it clicked in my head, I was
You've
like,
got it.
I've got it, but
it's like it's the shoes. You mentioned shoes earlier, but shoes is a big one for people quite often, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was what we were always told at uni. You know, find the shoes, you find the character.
Yeah, you find the character.
And I don't think that's an accurate science. I think it's a big part of the science, but I think it's one of the big things because it affects how you walk.
Yeah.
It affects the weight. Yeah.
Do you feel that now with like tying in with JC? Do you feel with Mary, because of course Mary's so different because she's got a voice, but there's no dialogue, of course, we know in this show. So it all conveys on, you know, emotions, physical emotions, looks on faces, and of course your voice. It's a big singy role. How have you felt, you know, when you've done all the kind of work for like Mama Rose? How have you felt delving into like Mary? What's been your process?
Yeah, it's sort of similar to when I did Rent. That's the only other show that's all sang through. I played Maureen in that. And,
great part.
Oh, I love it.
Great part.
Such a good part.
Take Me or Leave Me is the greatest song ever.
Good.
Best duet. I wish I was a female. Yeah. It's so good.
It's so good. And that was actually challenged with the when she does the protest, because I sort of had a lot of inhibitions out at the time. So I was only young, sort of early 20s, and I felt really self-conscious mooing. I was like,
and you've got to sell it. You've got to sell that.
So that was me just getting over myself. That was quite challenging. Anyway, so I'm sort of I was saying this to Todd the other day, like, I need to know Mary inside out, back to front. So then when I'm on stage and I'm not saying anything for the majority of the time, I just know who I am. So I don't have to think about what my face is doing. My face is just doing it because that's who I am. So I wouldn't say I'm quite there with that yet, but I think that's why I'm getting a lot of the rehearsal process really.
I worked with an acting coach once at uni that talked about that exact thing, and when he used to like interview me in character, he'd ask me like what my favourite ice cream was, or just really random questions, and it always used to really throw me, and I was like, I don't know. I know what his political allegiance is. And you're like, you think about all these deep questions, but you don't think, what's his perfect Sunday?
Yeah, just normal.
And it's that sort of thing. And so now whenever I do like little drama groups with kids, hot seating is such a favourite game of theirs. So I love throwing that in, and they'll go away and you can see them prepping like really important answers. And I'm like, what's your favourite flavour of crisps? And you see the really good ones that'll go, Quavers, because he's a really cheesy guy, and I'm like, oh, I love that straight away. And so 100%, I feel like you need to know every inch of that character's brain, don't you?
Which is why it's good. Sorry, then to chat to you two, because you two are both dead into that as well. Whereas some people you talk to, they're like, "What is she going?"
No, I know, I hate that.
It's a great
price
for it.
I'm like, if you're not invested, man, I said this to someone the other day. I was like talking about JC and how emotionally connected you have to be to the source material, and not just that, you cannot. And I think this more than any other show, you can't be in yourself. It's such an ensemble piece that brings out moments, and I believe with this show that this is how I've personally found the character, is having really big one-on-one connecting moments with yourself, with Joe, with yourself and the apostles and stuff. So it's so important that you invest in that, because it gets my nerves a little bit when people go, oh, I just turn up and I just say this and I do my lines. No, listen. And do you know what? We know it's Am-Dram, right? But this is how passionate we are, right? It's because we care about it. We love it that much. And if you're invested in it, you know that the audience are going to be invested in it. So it's so important.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's going to be big.
Yeah, I think it's a great cast for that, isn't it? I kind of felt that from day one. You kind of look around and you go, oh, it's lovely being in a rehearsal room where you're going, oh, I've got to raise my game here.
Yeah.
But then it turns out that everyone has that same feeling, and then all of a sudden you're all trying to. It's not that you're trying to one up each other, but you're all actually trying to get up to each other's level without realising that people are wanting to get up to your level.
But what's probably happening as well, and it's happened to me 5 or 6 times, you are finding different moments and versions of your performance. You're coming away from it going, oh my God, we don't ever want to give too much away about the show, but especially Everything's All Right, the scene with me and Becky and Joe when he gets here, but just there's so many integral moments in that then bring out different versions of what you're doing. And then what you do is you play on that and go, right, I like that. Now I don't want to overdo it, but I want to still keep that essence and stuff like that. And the same with the Last Supper with Joe. So it's so important.
Those accidental moments, and then you're thinking,
oh yeah,
I want to go back and do that again, but then it's going to look so heavy-handed and staged. Oh, the worst ones.
Especially in that, because I haven't done that song with Joe yet. I've just done it with Lee, who's our assistant director, and Joe's reactions to me will be totally different. And then that'll change me again. I love rehearsing. I do. I just love
it's great. It's really good. And what's been great about this process, especially for JC, is that a lot of the main parts have all come in at it with the same kind of frame of mind of wanting to be the best version of the part that they're playing. Yeah. I can honestly say, and we've all been in shows where people are coasting, where someone's turning up and they know it inside out, right? But what with this cast is like everybody is bringing their A game. And we're only in end of February. We've still got 2 months till show, just about 2 months. So we know it's going to get polished and,
100%.
Costumes, everything's going to look different and, bring a different version of it. So it's, I'm really excited for it. When's it on again?
17th of April.
17th of April. Make sure you listen and come along. Yeah, just.
It's okay with
sometime.
I love it.
Interesting question then on the same subject of that. Are you guys, both of you, up to both of you, the sort of people that go away and watch famous versions of your character, say, and then try to imitate, or do you take something from it? Where do you go with it? Because I don't like watching
anybody.
I do once I'm a few weeks into rehearsal to start seeing if there's any nuances that maybe I could add in, but early doors I don't like. But I know different people like to access it different ways.
I did with this watch a few versions for different reasons. I didn't know it very well, and obviously because we just got given sort of a score, it's not even any sort of any
dialogue nothing to build up
notes that normally get from and I just couldn't. I saw it once when these guys did it years ago, and I don't remember the details. I remember the feeling I had after I watched it, and I was absolutely blown away. And I remember I did the blood effects for it actually years ago. And
really?
It's all come full circle.
For all the hands, the crown of thorns. So when they put it on,
it dribbled down.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that again. I'm making the crown of thorns for this.
It's going to be
exclusive. You heard it here first.
But yeah, so I did actually watch a couple of versions for this one. Yeah. But I haven't rewatched anything. I just wanted to get a feel for it really and how it.
Yeah, how to
I don't think there's a right or wrong way, is there? It's just interesting hearing how different people approach it.
Mine's is really anal, really anal. Just because Judas has been a massive part of my life that I've never got the opportunity. And what I'd done with this was something I've never done before, where I took 9 different versions of Judas, right, from Australian original cast, you know, the Broadway cast, the British cast, and took all these different Judases, the ones that people know.
Swedish cast?
No, sadly not. Don't watch the Swedish one, folks. Listen, it was full on porn. It was
our
porn.
favourite discovery in the world.
Judas and Jesus did not betray him with a kiss. Put it that way. It was really bad.
It was graphic,
It was
wasn't it?
pretty graphic. I was like, I asked my director, I went, "Is this how far we're going?" But no, we're not.
I don't know about you guys, but I now need to watch the Swedish version.
Take that in
It's okay. It is
Swedish.
PG, but it's
Full on.
intense.
It's very intense. They've taken.
We
it to
described
another
it was a
level.
bit like Siegfried and Roy, but on a
drugs.
darker level. Yeah.
Like yeah, it was really full on. But I take like all the different ones and then I do this thing which is really Frankenstein, where I then put them through, like I've got like this audio processor thing, and what I do is I cut snippets from each one and put it together, and then what I do is I listen to it to then get a feel for the parts that I liked and put them all together, and then I try and put my part to it, so it then makes me not feel like I'm going to imitate or do the same as. And that was a lot for me, because a lot of the shows that I'd done over the years were a lot of jukebox musicals where there were songs that everybody knows. So the idea is with a jukebox musical, you have to take the material, make it your own anyway. You can't go up there and be a cheap imitation. So for me with Judas, it was a bit of a kind of, it's a mix between, it's very, very heavy on the John Legend more, believe it or not, the John Legend JC, and the 1999 version with Jerome Pradden. The two of them are my main integral ones, but there's a few thrown in there. People don't realise that the guy that sung, John Farnham, that sung the song The Voice, the great song, he played Judas as well.
Oh wow.
So in the Australian cast, so he does like a crazy hoarse rocky version of it as well. So there's loads of little kind of amalgamations of different ones. And it's like you say, people have got their own process of how I'm like you. I'd rather, if there's dialogue there, I don't need to look, because then I can just get into it with the dialogue. But when it's just music, it's really hard to find your voice before you put it together. It's hard. Really hard.
That's crazy.
That was a good one. I like that question, Joe.
Did you like it?
That was a really
That was
good
off
question.
the cuff as well. We didn't plan that.
Oh no, that's a
either.
really good question, man. That made me think.
Another question we haven't planned. See,
Yeah.
we were going to talk to you about the makeup, but it's naturally come out throughout. Have you ever had to have intense makeup on stage for any jobs you've done? So obviously you've made me up before. We did Addams Family, and I was Uncle Fester, and that was a long time. That's my only time of doing kind of intense makeup, and it's a long time in a chair. And Bex is great because she makes you feel so comfortable, and you don't realise you're there for a long time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, have you ever had to do that kind of process where you're in the chair?
No, I don't think.
Well, that's a boring answer.
I did put Shrek prosthetics on myself in lockdown.
Did you? just to see what it was like.
Bex and Shrek.
But no, never. And like I said, it's so transformative, his makeup and costume, that I would love that opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Are
Are there any iconic made-up roles for
Yes.
women?
Colin Farrell, the Penguin.
No, for women.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Colin
Colin Farrell. the
Colin,
Penguin.
if you're watching, I'm well
sorry.
aware of your
And the only
pronouns,
reason I say
mate.
it, the two ones that I always remember is Colin Farrell, the Penguin, and Jim Carrey, the Grinch. And
Oh,
how
the
they had to go
Grinch,
through
yeah.
like 9 hours of like, and they had to get training from
Marines.
on how. See, I would love that. I know I would love that, just to see what it's like.
But it takes 2 hours to put the Shrek prosthetics on, and I remember when we auditioned, I was like, you are aware it's a 2-hour process. That means you can't,
No.
you're going to have to be sitting down in the chair at 3:30, because as an actor, you want to be done out of makeup by then have time to sort of get your head on, warm up, just do your process for at least an hour before. So that was a massive thing. And I suppose, no, I've never had that. It's mainly wigs where but that's about it.
I imagine the big one's probably something like Elphaba, where it's all green, but it's not prosthetics, is it?
No.
I'm trying to think if there's a prosthetic one I can think of, but if you know one, comment.
Drop it in the comments. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good question, actually. I don't know a lot of kind of, but even the Elphaba one must be a bit of a nightmare.
Oh, it
Well,
must.
I remember doing for HAOS, they did Wizard of Oz, so I researched the exact makeup they did for Alpha, because they asked me to do the makeup for that, and we did it in such a quick amount of time. So Vanessa, who was playing the Wicked Witch, had to go under the stage ready to come out of the trapdoor, you know, for when she makes a big entrance in Munchkinland, and the door to the understage was locked, and I'm like, we literally have, I don't know how many minutes, 6 minutes anyway, for her to get the whole costume changed, greenify her, and get her on. I mean, it was, but then again, that's all about theatre. All my makeup is under the stage ready to go, so it's not like I even had any makeup on there.
That's an exciting rush.
It was a rush. Like,
Terrifying.
It's like a natural high.
But that's great, isn't it? Like, even if you're not on stage and you're being the main part and you're singing this stuff, there's other parts within our industry and what we do that still gives you those buzzes, that still gives you those highs. I mean, for you, it must be like some of the things, like when you sit back and watch a show and you see someone wearing your prosthetic, and not only that, if they're really good in the role, you're just milking that. Like, oh my God, this is what it's about. See, I love that.
Yeah. Because I think, especially, like, I say this to, like, my customers, I'm like, if you get Shrek right, you've got your audience on side straight away. Whereas if Shrek comes out, like you say, with just some green face paint, everyone's just like...
The little Disney ears.
And he's got the biggest entrance as well. When he opens that door, singing Big, Brave, Beautiful World, and if you look like you've just... It's not good.
Exactly. So I'm quite a visual learner, a visual person. So for me, the visual of things is massive. Which is what I like about HAOS, because they put massive effort into, like, sets.
Things looking the part.
So everything looks the part. So, you know... And that's what I love about it.
It's sad to say, not sad to say, but a lot of the generation now that are going to theatre or going to see shows, most of them base it on visual anyway. It's not really about the singing and the dancing and stuff. If things look good, and you look at a lot of these modern musicals now, like Frozen and things like that, everything is all about production and how it looks. So like it plays a big part on it. But I'm like you. I think if you've got the part and you look the part when you come out, You've literally done half the work of the show. Absolutely. I mean, you could be just a half decent, Shrek, but if you look the part, it's boom, you've won them over. You've won them. Right, I'm going to ask you a question, Becky, because we're getting towards the end, but we ask this to every guest, and this is basically what we call Desert Island Musical. And basically what we do is we put you on a desert island for the rest of your life, but you can only watch or listen to one musical over and over and over again. What would that musical be?
It's not torture. You choose when you listen to it.
But what would be yours if you were on that desert island, you've got a coconut to drink out of and a couple of bits of fish, and you've got literally one bit of music? What would the musical be?
Like the flakiest person ever. I flip from thing to thing.
At the moment, then, what would it be? What are you listening to at the moment?
I think it would be between Book of Mormon, because I've seen that so many times.
Amazing.
It still makes me howl.
Amazing.
And it's mad because sometimes in the past it's been a musical that I could maybe relate to or be in, and I literally cannot be in Book of Mormon. There is not a single part of it.
You see, it's got one of my dream roles that I'm desperate to do. So.
Oh my God. So it'd either be that or Hamilton. Because Hamilton, it would take you a long time to learn all them lyrics, wouldn't it? Yeah. You know what I mean?
It would give you something to do. I like your thinking. I like the thinking.
Yeah. And then obviously as well, the choreography is really I love that. Yeah. So I have to narrow it down. Let's go Hamilton.
Hamilton. Do you know what? I'm going to say something that's going to be really bad, and I'm hosting an Am-Dram podcast.
You don't like Hamilton?
I've never seen Hamilton.
It's all right. The Am-Dram rights are out there, so that's why.
Okay, that's why.
We're Am-Dram specialists.
It's been one of those shows that it's just, not that it's passed me by, the hype, when the hype was the hype.
Yeah.
I was working at the time, so it was like I was hearing it in the background, and then I heard one or two different songs, and I went, "Oh, they're really good, catchy numbers." And it's just one of those things that's just passed me. But I've not sat down and went, "Right, I'm going to watch Hamilton now." But I know that I can, because I think it's on a streaming service. We're not sponsored, but it's on a streaming service. Yeah.
We're not sponsored, but we've talked about Apple TV for about 4 hours.
Yeah. But yeah, I've not seen it, but I do appreciate, like you say, give me a musical on that island that I could learn. Yeah. That would give you something.
Yeah, I like that approach as well.
Yeah, that's a good approach.
That's how dedicated she is. Straight away, she was like, what can I learn? How do I better myself as an actress?
People usually just want someone they can sing along to that they know inside out. It's going to be boring after about 3 days. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like it.
Nice. Okay, we're ready for game time?
I'm ready for game time.
So I've got a game for you both. And it's still all about musicals. You're going to build... I'm going to give you $15, because we're on Broadway.
Okay.
And you're going to build a musical. So we're going to go.
Can you spend dollars in Yorkshire?
Can you spend dollars? You can spend anything you want in Yorkshire.
Okay.
We love money. We might charge you a lot more for the conversion rate, but So each round, you're going to get a $1 to a $5 option. So you've got to maybe be a bit conservative with your money early doors.
Okay.
And you're going to...
15 each. Or
15 each. 15 each.
15 each,
It's
okay,
your own
okay.
choices. But I feel like I'm going to be harsh. If Chris or Beck takes an option, the other one can't take the same option.
Okay.
So you're going to create a musical, $15. So your first round is the genre of the musical. So for $1,
you got
it's a jukebox musical.
Right.
I'm not a fan. Put it in the $1. For $2, kind of a review musical, the old-fashioned song and dance.
All right, okay.
$3, concept musical, talking American Idiot, talking Cats, Company. $4, film musical, so things like Hairspray, I'd say, are probably a film musical, famously more of the film. And then $5, book musical, your standard libretto, song and dance, scenes in between, Les Mis, famously doesn't have any dialogue, but yeah, that class is a book musical.
Okay.
What we're taking?
I'm going to take the movie musical. I'm going to
musical.
go movie. Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
see.
take
She was thinking about it.
$4. I'm going to spend $4 of my cash on a movie.
Would you class like chorus line to be in the company?
I feel so. Yeah, I feel like $3.
Yeah, I'm going to go for something smaller, increase the profit.
Okay.
See what she's doing.
Okay.
Okay, lead actor or actress. So I'll start the $5 option.
Okay.
The Queen, Julie Andrews.
Right.
$4, My King, Colm Wilkinson.
Oh, good old cool.
$3, Imelda Staunton. $2, Lin-Manuel Miranda. $1, Katie Price.
I'm going to Lynn.
Oh no!
Yeah, you can bring a lot to the table. You're not just getting an actor.
I know, but this is purely for your lead actor. The show's written. The show's
Right,
written.
so the show's
Because I
written.
thought about this. If it was right, he'd be up in the $5 for me. But for my lead actor, I love him, but I don't love him.
Who's in number 3 again?
Imelda Staunton.
Oh yeah, that's one. Sorry, Chris.
You got Imelda Staunton? I thought you might. Fellow Mama Rose.
Okay, I'm going to be wise here because if it's a movie musical, right, it's going to sell out. It's going to be big because a lot of the generation now go to movie musicals, right? So I'm going to go movie musical and I'm going to spend $1 on
Wow.
Katie Price.
Love
as
it.
my lead actress.
I love it.
Because I'm going to make up for it and everything else.
Okay.
Actress. Like, we're not talking a supporting role.
Listen, A Whole New World, Aladdin was a movie musical. She sings that really well. So let's go with Katie Price and a movie
Why
musical.
you saying that Katie Price sings that really well is going to lessen what they're going to think that we're saying Jesus Christ is really good.
I love you, Katie, if you're watching.
Yeah, if you watch Katie.
So now,
right.
playing opposite, so who's kind of your supporting actor?
All right, okay, this is
So,
where I can win back.
do you want to start with your $1 or your $5? Where are we starting?
Chris is going to need the 5.
Yeah, start with a 5, please.
Leah Salonga.
Oh,
Iconic.
okay.
Think
yeah.
of all the roles she's played. $4, we're just talking icons now. Liza Minnelli.
Oh my God, she's my queen.
I ummed and ahed about putting her in the lead, but I thought, do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to get her in there.
Okay.
$3, mine and my mum's king, Ramin Karimloo.
Oh, amazing.
What a voice.
Phantom. Yeah.
What a handsome man as well.
Yeah.
$2, you might be looking at this, Chris, with your movie musical, Jack Black.
Oh my God.
What a steal at $2.
Yeah.
$1, he's been there, he's done it, and he'd sell you tickets, David Hasselhoff.
Everyone says Scott's like David Hasselhoff.
I love you, Scott. I don't think you do. I think he's far better looking than David Hasselhoff.
All right.
So Leah Salonga, Liza Minnelli, Ramin Karimloo, Jack Black, David Hasselhoff.
You know, Jack Black is on my laminated top 5 celebrities.
Is he really?
Friends.
Wow.
Is he?
I get it.
For the show, man, so I'm taking Jack Black.
Yeah?
I was thinking Jack Black because he can make her look really good.
After you swooped in with the movie choice, I've been quick.
I know.
But you've got loads of money to spend.
I've still got $10.
$10, man. You could have popcorn.
I know, but I'm
this rate.
scared of what comes next. And
Well,
I
you
know.
could still take both top options if you wanted. You've still got enough to take both top
Yeah, but
options.
is there 2
Katie
options?
Price
How
saved
many
you, man.
options left have we got?
You've got 2 options left.
Ooh, right,
So you've got
okay.
this option that you're currently on and one more
Yeah,
option.
but listen, Katie Price, Julie. I can't have Julie singing with Katie Price.
No, it's Leah Salonga you'd have. Julie's gone. Neither of you chose Julie.
What happened
I'm
to Julie?
devastated.
What happened to her?
You've left Julie to me. Julie was in the lead. Neither of you chose.
Oh God!
Imelda and Katie Price.
All right,
I'm shocked.
Katie's.
Julie, if you're watching, I still love you. You'd have been mine.
Right, okay. Oh my God, I'm going with the Aladdin connection here. I'm going with Leah Salonga.
Beautiful. Love it. Love
So here's my plan. Katie Price can open her mouth. Leah will sing the voice. You know, like
So you're
like
gonna
Aladdin.
get our icon, our songstress, our beautiful songstress Leah Salonga. You're not going on screen though.
No, she won't. She'll
Gonna
never
force
be
her backstage.
She'll never be seen. She'll never.
That is forgiving.
She'll never be seen.
Beautiful Singing in the Rain reference there.
She'll never be seen in this musical. Okay, I'm going.
Okay,
Yeah, Leah
so
Salonga.
Leah Salonga. So
Yeah.
you've still got your $5 left. How much have you got left? I've lost it with.
I've got loads of money because Jack Black was on.
Oh yeah, it was 2, 5. Oh yeah, you've got loads. So you could both fight for the top number. So now you've got the 11 o'clock number.
Oh, this
The
is
big song of your show. What is happening? So we're going to start at the bottom. $1, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, putting it at the $1 spot. But I hate this song. Memory from Cats.
I hate it.
I think it's just been so overdone. I mean, Elaine Page, incredible, stunning, yeah, but it's just been so overdone. And
Have you
I've
heard
heard
Nicole
so many
Scherzinger
bad
sing
things.
that? Her version's
Yeah, lovely, beautiful, but I've just said it overdone.
It's a
Bad
done,
people
yeah.
can't do it. Number 2, love this, Revolting Children, Matilda.
Oh, yeah.
Little song and dance number.
Uh-huh.
Number 3, special one for me, Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat, Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
One for the big boys.
Get big applause now, isn't it?
Now you see the top 2. I knew Bex was coming on, so I've tried to torture her with this because I've heard her perform both of these
Oh,
songs.
so she's going to find it hard to pick.
$4, She Used to Be Mine, Waitress.
Oh, it's a great song.
$5, what's it going to be, Bex? It's the one, isn't it?
Rose's turn.
Rose's Turn from Gypsy.
Oh, Katie Price can't sing that.
Imelda can though, so I'm going Rose's turn.
There we go. I wondered if you'd pick her early doors. I gave you that
Let's
chance.
be honest now. People are coming up to see mine over here.
I've got Leah Salonga. Excuse me.
We're going to be leaving. It's going to be up to you to vote. So
Like, I don't know, 41 no she is. No offence, less longer. Queen, love you. But
Oh my God.
how many riffs have we started on this podcast already? 2 episodes in, we're already offended half of the icons
It
of
should
the
be called
world.
Stage Struck the Savage podcast. I'm going to go with. I'm trying to think. What would Leah be good at? What was number 3?
Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat.
she used to be mine.
I think I'm going to go with. Yeah, she used to be mine. I think she'd
Oh,
be quite
that'd be
good at
it'd be like a reflection vibe out of Mulan, wouldn't it?
But Katie could do like some BGVs on it, like nice background vocals,
Yeah.
like ahs and oohs. Yeah, maybe we could pre-record them.
So
Put through a processor.
let's just run through this for the audience. So you've got a choice here for the vote here. I'm moving on. Chris has got a film musical starring Katie Price opposite Leah Salonga, or in front of Leah Salonga by the sound of it, where they're going to sing She Used to Be Mine from Waitress. Whereas Bex has gone for a concept musical starring Imelda Staunton opposite, who did you pick? Jack Black, yeah.
What a pair.
Even though Liza Minnelli's your icon, weird.
Me and Jack Black could start a show. man.
Singing Rose's Turn from Gypsy.
Jack Black
You
singing
need to get in
Rose's
the
Turn.
comments and tell us who is the winner of that game.
Yeah, let me know. What would you rather go see, people? Would you rather go see Jack Black?
No, that's a
Imelda
different sell. That's a different sell. We didn't say what would you rather go see. We said what's the better musical.
I'm digging here. I'm digging. We've not even come up with a name for the musical yet. It doesn't have a name yet.
There you go.
Doesn't have a name.
Off the cuff. Off you go. What's it called?
Katie Price, Leah Salonga, starring in the movie musical, with the song "She Used to Be Mine."
Without getting us demonetised.
a movie adaptation of Gremlins.
Oh God.
I'm gonna go with a movie adaptation, all puppets. So Katie Price, will be in it, but she will be like the kind of the lead actress, but the main parts is like Avenue Q.
Oh, but then all the rest are
Everybody else,
like the Dolby O
Gremlins,
advert.
and the lead get Gremlins. That one, if you remember Gremlins, with the big boobs and stuff, and then she's going to sing "She Used to Be Mine."
Nice.
Fantastic.
That's it.
Nice. What's yours going to be called then?
Dauntingly black.
Ooh.
That sounds like a snooker musical. Stunting the black. Here he comes. There he comes.
Dauntingly black.
Stuntingly black. That sounds quite good.
Get voted in the comments now.
All right. Would you rather go see Gremlins or Stuntingly Black? It's
I
quite
mean, it's
Mad.
It's quite obvious. Yeah, it's obvious.
I don't know where else we go with it.
No, I don't think so. Well, listen, it's been wonderful. We've yapped, we've talked, we've chatted, we've found out a lot of stuff. I think the biggest surprise tonight is that you're in Emmerdale. That's really thrown me.
I've known you all these years and I never knew
And you
that.
know exactly what I'm doing tonight when I go home.
100%
I
me
am
too.
so finding you on YouTube. I really do. I'm so excited.
surely there can't be that episode on YouTube. There's about
Oh no, there is.
We
yeah.
will
No,
we will track it down.
You can find everything on YouTube. I really want to because I was a bit obsessed. I'm not a big soap fan, but growing up, Emmerdale was just something that was always on in the house. Mum loves it. Wait till I tell my mum that you were in Emmerdale. She'll go absolutely
I'll buy a
ballistic.
ticket for every night.
Oh, she will. She can't come from Scotland that much. Jesus Christ, no.
It's all right, I'll put her up. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Got
She'll be all right. She'll be all right.
So apart from obviously we're gonna keep pushing, JC. Have you got anything else you want to kind of plug or any socials you want to put out
Yes.
there? Or where can we find Bec Does Shrek? If there's somebody
Yes.
out there that is doing
Yes.
Shrek and thinks, oh my god, we need.
Well, Bec Does Shrek, you can find me on Facebook, but I do lots of other prosthetics. My Instagram for my fashion makeup and my music, because I do like music videos and things, is Becky Makeup, Becky with an I.
We'll tag
And
it
my
in the
TikTok
description.
Tag it.
is Bec Does Shrek, but it's not really all Shrek based. It's really random. But if you like random,
Yeah, no.
Here for it.
And listen, honestly, make sure you get your tickets. You get to see Becky live as Mary Magdalene. It's going to be from the 16th.
17th.
Sorry, 17th. That's Thursday, the 17th of April to Easter Sunday, the 20th of April as well. So if you're in the Halifax area, West Yorkshire, make sure you come and see us. It's going to be epic. It's going to be a great show. I cannot wait. And of course, you get to see Becky, myself, and Todd. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening to us on all of your beautiful fruit-related devices. And of course, watching us on YouTube as well. My name is Chris.
My name's Todd.
And we'll see you on the next one. Keep it stage struck. Bye, everybody.
Bye.